Hello, that's my second attempt to shoot this video. My phone doesn't have enough data, so trying again. My camera is not ready yet, but I will be. I'm waiting for my memory card. So anyway, let's start from the subject straight away. I really don't like watching this really long video with kind of spread information. Anyway, let's start with the subject. So I just want to talk about what's going on around the world now, and how I'm just basically processing this, which is most of the time very challenging, and I bet it's very challenging for lots of people. Recently, I was on the street and some guy basically stopped me. He said, "Oh, I see you in a Mark and Spencer, and you don't wearing mask." And we end up into the conversation about this basically nonsense. What's really going on? Around the world, really. So let's start from the beginning. We're basically in a matrix. We're in a matrix. We live in a matrix, well, organized system, like in a movie in Matrix. So basically, the minute you're born, you go into the system. You go to the system, you go to school, and you get programmed. You get programmed to be a oiled particle in a well-organized machine. So you've been programmed to be a robot, to conform to teachers, and then later to conform to your managers. You've been programmed with way of thinking, especially when you go to public school. And then you end up in a corporation world or some sort of system when you have to conform to managers who mostly power grip sociopath. Especially in a corporation world, and I would only can speak for NHS where I work. The people who have no skills to be a manager, they have no social skills, they basically power grip sociopath, basically. That's my opinion. So basically, the minute you're born, you go to the system. Special schooling. School is great example, because when you're going in the public school, I actually live in England, so when you go to public school, you basically program to be this particle in a well-organized machine. You don't go to boys' club school like Eton, when they learn to be a politician, leaders, entrepreneur, and businessmen. We don't learn in a public school how to do that. We don't learn this practical tools, how to do marketing of your own business, how to do your accountant. We learn this idiocy about the geometric things or some arithmetic, which we never actually use in real life. We've been bombard our brain with this not useful information really in the real life. So it's a massive division. It's a massive division of people, well, born in a basically better circumstances, and then those kind of people run the country. Those kind of people ruling the country where they have no real, how to say, idea about the normal life struggle. So let's come back to this, what's happening at this moment. My opinion is a pandemic, basically. I watched this movie on London Real. It's shot by American director, and there's lots of information there if you want to watch it. It's free, actually. I think so. You have to only subscribe. And what's interesting, I tried to share that on my Facebook, share the link for that movie, and I was blocked. So where are we living? Are we living in a democratic country or living in a fascism, dictatorship place? What's really going on, people? You don't have to be very clever to basically question what's really going on. This is not rocket science. What's really going on with all this? What's happening? Another situation was actually I come across a friend of mine, mother died on heart attack, and heart attack is just heart attack. It's nothing to do with respiratory problem. And what was put on a death certificate, COVID-19. And when she started question, I think so, the nurse or doctor being defensive or aggressive. If it was happened to me, I would be questioned that till I bleed. or if I need to, I would take that to the human rights lawyer, Amal Clooney, to it's not about the death. It's not about the. It's about truth. It's about truth. It's about what is actually facts, and basically they twisting the facts, and that's disgusting. She was obviously too burdened with grief and pain to question that, or maybe too weak. I'm not going to condemn that, but that's really what's going on, people. That's really what's going on at this moment. The other things is what's going on with a mask. A mask was introduced, mandatory mask in the shops at public places was introduced into England. I live in England, end of July, and then let's face it. Does that make sense? Why haven't been mandatory in the beginning of the pandemic? Why now? Why now? My answer is like, because this is a symbol of basically control and people separated. Keep people away from each other. Because collectively we actually one infinite being of collective conscious, and putting that mask is basically keep us separated. Obviously it doesn't make logically sense, because if it's a virus, it should be mandatory in the beginning of the virus, right? I will not wear the mask, and I refuse to wear the mask recently in a bus, and I recently refused wear the mask in a meeting, in an NHS meeting, and nobody gonna push me. If they challenge me, I challenge it back. Like some bus driver tried to challenge me, and I said no. And if they want to find me, great. They find me, I would not pay. I will not conform to this idiocy, because this doesn't make sense. We're basically in a matrix. And coming to the matrix, I want to talk a little bit about the social media, not social media, basically media. What's mean actually television? If you break the word television, it's basically mean I'm telling you my vision. What's mean programming? I basically putting programming into your mind by my program. So that's why I consciously don't own television. I don't recently buy papers. I don't listen any news. And if I need it, really, believe me, people will tell me. And I stop listening to the radio, because I think it's full of nonsense. Full of nonsense, fear-mongering, scaring people. And they've done a very good job. They've done a very good job. People are frightened. When I question them with my agenda, people don't want to know. They find the excuse to don't believe it or don't question. I know it's scary. I know it's difficult. It's sometimes difficult for me. But I will not acquiesce to that. I will not say yes to that, and I not agree what's really going on, because that's on many levels doesn't make sense. So I'm basically asking people to wake up and start questioning, because from questioning we stop conforming and we start thinking for ourselves. Another thing what I want to ask, because I don't want this video to drag too long, quarantine. Again, I live in England, and quarantine was basically introduced recently when you're coming back from certain countries. Obviously, I find that very disgusting, because people on holiday, they're trying to come back to work and they cannot, because the quarantine was imposed when they're on holiday. So they have to come back and they have to quarantine for 2 weeks. Well, again, obviously this all pandemic killing economical system, kill lots of people jobs and basically way to earn money. So basically what people doing cleverly, for example, they're going to one country when the quarantine is necessary when they get back, and they going through different country when the quarantine is not necessary. So in terms of the virus, does that make sense? For example, they've been in Spain and they have to quarantine when they get back from Spain. So they're going through Poland and they don't have to quarantine. Oh, how lovely. Great. So virus untouched them, but they've been in a country when it's like more dangerous. Come on, wake up, people. This doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. There's no logic into that. Well, like I said, it's very difficult to know what's going on because I don't know what's going on. Only people who plan this know what's going on. But I will question that till I bleed, and I will not acquiesce for this nonsense, and I will not agree. People trying to take my freedom away, my my democracy, and just impose this fashion. So I'm asking people to start questioning, because from questioning we start basically moving forward and start stopping this this control over us. So I think so that's all. Thank you for watching. Goodbye now.